Welcome, welcome, welcome. The wisdom of Halloween, from fear to transformation. Halloween is not a holiday of fright, but as a story of transformation. Beneath the masks and pumpkins lies an ancient wisdom about fear, courage, and renewal. Think of this as a journey through time, from ancient Celtic fires to the laughter of children today, to discover what Halloween really means. It's not about death, but the dance between darkness and light, endings and beginnings. Just as we walk through this twilight path, may we find something ancient still breathing in us, something that glows quietly like the lantern ahead. Halloween began long before the world even existed. The Celts called it Samhain, the time when summer's life faded and the world exhaled into winter. They believed that for one night, the veil between worlds grew thin, allowing spirits and ancestors to visit. Bonfires burned high on hilltops, both in celebration and as a form of protection. Masks were born to confuse the wandering souls, and offerings of food were left on doorsteps for friendly spirits. It was not superstition, but a relationship, honoring nature's cycles and respecting the mystery. Imagine that, a festival where humans paused to acknowledge the invisible, the unseen, the sacred dance of life and death. Autumn is nature's poem of impermanence. The leaves blaze, then fall. The air sharpens, life retreats underground to rest. The ancients understood this rhythm. They saw no tragedy in decay, only renewal in waiting. Samhain marked the end of the year, a time for reflection and release. Modern life rushes past this wisdom. We light electric suns and forget to rest, but Halloween still carries that whisper. Slow down, watch what's dying, and learn from it. Every withering leaf is a lesson in grace, reminding us that endings aren't failures, they're just nature catching its breath before beginning again. As centuries turned, the church folded Samhain into All Hallows Eve, the night before All Saints' Day. The bonfires gave way to candlelit chapels, yet the spirit of the festival remained, remembering those who have gone before. It's remarkable how humanity reshapes rituals while keeping their hearts beating. The Celts spoke of spirits, the Christians spoke of saints, but both spoke of connection. Halloween is that thread running through them, an evening when the visible and invisible hold hands. Old faiths never die, they transform. And perhaps so do we. Each time we adapt, heal, and bring light to an ancient fear. Picture it. A clearing in the forest, fires crackling, masks hung on branches, baskets on apples, and bread for unseen guests. Each symbol carried meaning. Masks allowed people to sip between worlds. a reminder that identity isn't fixed, it flows. The offering said, "We remember. You are still part of us." Even the fires wasn't just warmth, it was courage defying the darkness. Today's Halloween costumes and pumpkin lights may look different. Still, they echo the same message. Play with the mysteries, not against it. To wear a mask is to meet the unknown halfway, and maybe in that meeting to find a forgotten part of ourselves. This is the heart of Halloween's wisdom. Without shadow, light has no meaning. Ancient people didn't view darkness as evil. They saw it as a necessity or a necessary part of life. Light and dark were lovers, not enemies. When we embrace both, we live more fully. The moon knows this. Half in shadow, half in shine. Our culture fears the dark, not only the night, but the unseen parts of ourselves. Yet proper balance requires both. Tonight, as you watch the moon rise, remember the light you admire exists because something chose to stay hidden. In every shadow lies a truth waiting to be loved. We all wear masks. The confident smile, the polite nod, they brace in hard times. Halloween gives us permission to admit it. When we put on a costume, we symbolically reveal our own disguises. Every mask hides truth, but it also protects it until we're ready. The Celts understood this. Transformation required safety, and masks offered that. Perhaps that's why the night feels so liberating. For one evening, we can drop the act of pretending. Strange paradox, isn't it? But here's the magic. When we remove the mask after the night ends, what remains is a face more honest than before. Throughout time, humans have answered darkness with flame, whether it's a bonfire on a hill or a single candle in a window. The message is the same. We're still here. Fire connects us to courage, the bravery of those who faced winter, lost or fear with sharp or spark in hand. The pumpkin lantern, once a humble turnip, did you know that? Became a grim or a grin of defiance against gloom. Even the smallest flame defies the dark. It's not the size of the light that matters, but the will to keep it burning. Each of us carries such a lantern. Our kindness, our creativity, our love.
Candy has roots in ancient rituals. Each year, on October 31st, millions around the world don costumes, carve pumpkins, and celebrate Halloween. But there's so much more to this festive occasion. Beneath the playful facade lies a rich history of profound beliefs and cultural transformations that have evolved over thousands of years. Join us for the history of Halloween dark origins to modern scares as we unravel the journey of this celebration. From its pagan origins to the global phenomenon it has become today. Halloween traces its roots to the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain, pronounced Samhain. Over 2,000 years ago, the Celts, living in what is now Ireland, Scotland, and parts of France, celebrated their new year on November 1st. Samhain marked the end of the harvest and the beginning of winter, symbolizing the transition from life to death. It was believed that on the night of October 31st, the barrier between the living and the dead weakened, allowing spirits to walk the earth. To protect themselves from these roaming spirits, Celts built huge bonfires and offered crops and animals as sacrifices. People also wore animal hides to disguise themselves, hoping to blend in with the spirits and avoid their wrath. The bonfires were not only sources of warmth but were seen as portals of light that could ward off darkness, symbolizing hope amid the approaching winter. The Celts were deeply spiritual, believing in a world filled with supernatural beings, both benevolent and malevolent. Legends told of fairies that would trick the living headless horseman like the Dullahan who foretold death, and the mischievous Puka, a shape-shifting spirit that played tricks on unsuspecting villagers. It was a night when gods like Morrigan, associated with fate and war, were invoked for blessings or protection. Excavations at sites like Newgrange have uncovered ritual pits filled with bones and offerings, confirming the Celts' deep connection to the other world during Samhain. For the Celts, Samhain was not just about fear, it was about respecting the spirits of ancestors and embracing the cycle of life and death. In 43 AD, the Roman Empire conquered much of the Celtic territories, bringing their own traditions with them. Two Roman festivals merged with Samhain Feralia, a day to honor the dead, and the festival of Pomona, the goddess of fruits and trees. Pomona's symbol was the apple, which is why the fruit became a part of Halloween's traditions. Apple bobbing, a popular Halloween game, can be traced back to this Roman influence. Apples were believed to hold the secrets of love and fate, with young women biting into them to divine their future husbands. This fusion of Roman and Celtic customs laid the groundwork for a celebration that combined death, harvest, and divination, making it both solemn and festive.
What about ghosts and memories of people passed by? Let's have a look at some of these past that haunt us. Okay, the ghost asks to be remembered. Now, every culture tells ghost stories, but perhaps they're really memory stories. The Celts viewed spirits as echoes of unfulfilled love, reminders to cherish. We too are haunted by what we didn't say, by what we lost too soon. Halloween invites healing, not fear. Light a candle, whisper a name, and you'll feel them, those who shaped you, still nearby. The past doesn't haunt us, it asks to be remembered. When we honor our ghosts with gratitude, they stop rattling chairs and start telling stories. In that remembering, both the living and the dead find peace. Ah, laughter, the alchemist of fear. When we laugh, darkness loses its teeth. That's why Halloween has always carried humor with its hauntings. It's the only night when the absurd and the sacred share stage. Laughter isn't frivolous, it's medicine. The Celts sang by their fires, not in denial of death, but in celebration of life. Laughter is the spell that turns fear into wonder. It reminds us that courage can wear a smile. So yes, the night may hold ghosts, but even they, I suspect, chuckle when they see how beautifully human we are. Fear feels like a wall, but it's really a doorway disguised as one. The ancient rites of Samhain were rehearsals for courage. People stood at the edge of the unknown. winter, death, darkness, and step forward anyway. We do the same in our own lives, facing change, loss, uncertainty. Halloween teaches that fear isn't failure, it's the soul stretching into something new. The trick is not to conquer fear, but to walk through it gently. Fear isn't a wall, it's a doorway to wisdom. The moment you step through, you realize the monsters were the teachers all along. The lantern is an outer symbol of an inner truth. The light we seek is already burning inside us. The truest light is the one we kindle inside. Every act of kindness, every moment of compassion, these are sparks that defy despair. Halloween reminds us to protect that inner glow when the life grows cold. Just as a candle flickers but endures, so do we. When the night feels endless, turn inward. Your soul has matches waiting to light that inner fire. And the miracle? When we share our light, it doesn't diminish, it multiplies. Together we become constellations against the world's shadows. This season is the year's memorial. The Celts spoke with their ancestors. We light candles for ours. Both acts say the same thing. Love doesn't end, it evolves. Those who came before us still walk beside us. We can feel them in the quiet moments, in inherited habits, in the wisdom that seems to come from nowhere. Light a candle tonight and thank them. Parents, teachers, friends, even the souls you never met, but who paved the path you walk. Remembering doesn't trap us in the past. It anchors us in gratitude. Every memory is a thread in the great tapestry of being. We've banished darkness from our cities. Every corner glows with neon lights. But what have we lost with the constant light? The ancestors feared the dark, yet respected it. We've made it irrelevant. We light up our world and forget how to see the stars. Halloween invites us to rediscover the art of night. Silence, stillness, reflection. To sit without distraction and feel life breathe around us. The stars above remind us that mystery still exists, even if we can't see it. Perhaps once a year we can dim the lights, step outside, and let the cosmos remind us of our vastness.
Festive. By the 7th century, the spread of Christianity brought changes to the pagan customs. To replace Samhain, Pope Boniface IV established All Saints' Day on November 1st, dedicated to saints and martyrs. Later, All Souls' Day was added on November 2nd to honor all deceased Christians. The Church's intent was to Christianize pagan traditions, creating a new festival called All Hallows Eve, which encompassed both days. On All Hallows Eve, the night before All Saints' Day, poor villagers would go souling, visiting wealthy homes to offer prayers for the dead in exchange for soul cakes. This tradition of souling gradually evolved into trick-or-treating, as children and the poor sang rhymes and collected food in exchange for blessings. People also began dressing up as saints and demons, symbolizing the victory of good over evil. This practice of guising aimed to blend in with the supernatural forces believed to roam on this sacred night. In medieval Europe, Halloween became synonymous with superstition. It was believed that witches held meetings known as sabbats on Halloween night to cast spells. The Dumb Supper, where families silently laid out meals for the spirits of departed relatives, was a solemn ritual meant to invite ancestors back to the table for one night only. Fortune-telling games were especially popular. One involved peeling apples, throwing the peel over your shoulder, and interpreting the shapes to predict future spouses. Another superstition involved hazelnuts. Burning 2 nuts in a fire would indicate compatibility, while popping nuts signaled a doomed relationship. Medieval Halloween was a blend of spiritual rites, romance, and fear, reflecting both Christian influences and lingering pagan beliefs. In the 19th century, Halloween crossed the Atlantic, brought by Irish and Scottish immigrants fleeing famine and seeking a new life in America. In colonial settlements, Halloween blended with local harvest festivals and Native American autumn rituals, creating a new form of celebration. Turnips, once used as jack-o'-lanterns in Ireland, were replaced by the more plentiful and easier-to-carve pumpkin. Halloween parades, storytelling events, and public celebrations flourished, especially in cities like New York and Boston, where large immigrant communities embraced the holiday. Trick-or-treating became widespread by the 1950s, promoted as a safe, community-oriented alternative to mischief and vandalism. Costume parties, haunted houses, and Halloween parades became popular ways to celebrate, turning Halloween into a family-friendly holiday.
So let's just pause for a moment and reflect. Just take a deep breath. Reflect quietly. What part of your darkness might hold forgotten light? Think about that. What part of your darkness might hold forgotten light? Perhaps it's an old fear we've outgrown, or a dream you buried long ago. This moment, like Halloween itself, asks us to look inward with gentleness, not judgment. The mist in the forest symbolizes uncertainty. Yes, but also softness. When we allow ourselves stillness, we see truth shimmering faintly through. Sometimes the thing we fear most isn't the dark, it's the light waiting patiently behind, asking us to be lived. Dawn always comes, even after the longest night. Halloween's message is one of rebirth. Every ending is simply dawn in disguise. Just as the sun returns, so too does hope and clarity. In the old days, Samhain wasn't just about death. It was the new year, the new beginning. The Celts understood that new life needs darkness to grow. So, when we face endings, let us remember they're only transitions. Whatever we release tonight, trust that something luminous is waiting just beyond the horizon, ready to rise when we are. Each of us is a lantern. Some shine brightly, some flicker softly, but all matter. Carry your light gently. The world is full of shadows that need it. Compassion, patience, humor, these are lantern flames too. In a world overwhelmed by noise, quiet kindness glows the brightest. We don't need to save the whole forest, just hold our small candle steady. When enough of us do, then itself becomes beautiful again. That's the real magic of Halloween. Not spells or spirits, but people choosing to light each other's way. If you can laugh at the dark, you've already found your way through it. Laughter returns pain, or turns pain into perspective. Even in ancient rituals, jesters and storytellers played vital roles, keeping hearts open amidst mystery. Halloween reminds us that wisdom doesn't always wear a serious face. Humor is the warmth that keeps philosophy human. The smiling mask beside the mirror reminds us reflection and joy belong together. So, smile, not because you have all the answers, but because you've learned to dance with the question. That's what makes us gloriously, imperfectly alive.
Although Halloween is most popular in North America, its themes echo worldwide. In Mexico, Dia de los Muertos spans 3 days of honoring ancestors, with vibrant altars, skull decorations, and street parades. In Japan, the Obon festival involves dances and lanterns guiding spirits back to their resting places. Meanwhile, England's Guy Fawkes Night, held on November 5th, features bonfires and fireworks, commemorating the failed gunpowder plot. Although Halloween is most popular in North America, its themes echo worldwide. In Mexico, Dia de los Muertos is a multi-day celebration where families build altars, create vibrant offerings called ofrendas, and parade through streets adorned with marigolds and calaveras, sugar skulls. Though different in tone, Dia de los Muertos shares Halloween's focus on death and remembrance. In Japan, the Obon festival involves ceremonial dances and floating lanterns to guide ancestral spirits back to the afterlife. In England, November 5th marks Guy Fawkes Night, a centuries-old tradition commemorating the failed gunpowder plot. Bonfires blaze in public squares, echoing Samhain's ancient fires, with effigies burned as symbols of rebellion and remembrance. These global celebrations, though different in origin, share common themes of honoring the dead, embracing the supernatural, and maintaining ancient customs in modern ways. Despite its popularity, Halloween remains controversial. Some religious groups see its practices as conflicting with biblical teachings, warning against engaging with spirits. Deuteronomy 18:10-12, for example, states, "There must never be anyone among you who consults ghosts or spirits or calls up the dead." Yet for many, Halloween is simply a time for fun, creativity, and community bonding. It's a night where old beliefs and new traditions coexist, reflecting humanity's fascination with the unknown. From Samhain's bonfires to today's haunted houses, Halloween is a living story of adaptation, mystery, and survival. It's a holiday that has evolved from fearful reverence to festive celebration, all while maintaining its core themes of life, death, and the supernatural. Whether seen as a cultural tradition, a spiritual event, or simply a night of spooky fun, Halloween's history continues to mirror humanity's deepest fears, beliefs, and hopes.
So, light isn't just something you carry, it's something you create together. That's the essence of everything we've explored tonight. Halloween began as fire shared on hillsides, carried from home to home. Today, that fire is metaphorical, acts of connection, creativity, kindness. When we share our inner flame, it becomes community. And the more we light others, the brighter our collective glows. We're not separate lanterns, but one vast constellation, reminding us, each other, that darkness lasts forever. Thank you. So, Anyway, thank you for walking this path with me tonight. And thanks to Donna, we've got some pictures. But may your lanterns burn bright and your shadows walk beside you in friendship. Halloween's wisdom is not about fear. That's what I want to get across. It's about embracing the unknown through friendship. The candle fading into sunrise symbolizes that moment when courage meets peace. As you leave tonight, remember transformation doesn't require fireworks, only awareness and gratitude and a little spark of curiosity. So, until we meet again, may you keep your lantern for someone, somewhere is waiting for you to share your light. So thank you very much for being part and parcel of this class. It is much, much appreciated.